Hi guys, how are you doing? It's me, Lady G2. Right now, um, I'm about to go live in Zimbabwe for the Zimdancehall Summit. So I'm just going to uh, have a phone call with them right now um, at the summit where they are, and then I'll be answering questions and talking, etc., etc. Rufaro, how are you doing, Rufaro? Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the call from Zimbabwe right now. Hello? Yes, I'm ready. Hi, guys. I hope you'll be able to hear them. Mm, asking questions and all that. Yes? 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 Right, guys. There are some network issues in Zimbabwe. Can you hear me? There's some network issues in Zimbabwe, so they are going to do a audio call. So I'm just waiting for them to talk to me. Nyasha and Dave, Candy, how are you doing? Gloria, I see you. Yeah, so I'm just waiting on Zimbabwe to talk to me. Hey! Sound is distorted. Oh God. How are we going to do this? Or should we go to the Zimdancehall Summit page? Because they're streaming live, but the page you won't be able to see me. It's going to be audio. So we'll see. So I'm waiting. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, thank you. Thanks, Nyasha. Hey, Fortune, how are you? Yeah, so I'm waiting for them to ask me questions and all that. Gloria, je vais say Lady G. Je vais say Gloria, uri boy. Ukufamba ere? Yes. Yes. Okay. Hello everyone. Good morning. My name is Lady G2. I'm a DJ, I'm a singer. I'm also a keyboard player, but I'm known more for my DJing. I've been a DJ for the past 12 years, and I'm based here in the UK, but I travel internationally as well. I've also done a tour in Zimbabwe. So when you talk of the foundation of Zimdancehall, I think it's important for us to go back to where everything started, basically. The term Zimdancehall itself was coined back around 2005, 2006 by someone called Slaggy Ute, who is UK based. But before we go into that, I feel that it's important to go even way back, even further back into history, um, as far as about 30 years from now. Because prior to the actual term Zim dancehall, this music was already, being sung and being performed by various different artists, going back mid 80s to the late 80s. So back then we had artists like Culture T, who is now deceased. Rest in peace, Culture T. We had artists like Booker T. At this time, around mid 80s to the late 90s, Booker T was already a singer, but he was also an MC for Stereo One International. Around this time, we had the likes of Paradzai, we had the likes of Alan Ranks, etc., etc. And then in the 90s, we had other artists coming up like Yappy Bantan, the guy who sang Memories Don't Live Like People Do. He was coming up as well. We also had the likes of Potato, Fortune Paruta. We also had Asagai Crew. There was also Major E. However, Major E was already an MC for Stereo One around the late 80s. But then he started recording songs like In My Dreams, Moyomuti with Innocent Utsiwe Gota, as well around the early 90s. We also had people like Solomon Skuza, who sang tunes like Love and Scandal, 1980 reggae song. So basically around this time in the 80s, it was very difficult for this type of music to be accepted because reggae music was kind of looked down upon around this time. So, but we had a few DJs, for example, people like Hitman Brown, Radio 3, who actually kind of pushed the music. So it was not easy when this whole thing started with the reggae artists. Back then, it wasn't called reggae music. It was just, it wasn't called Zim dancehall. It was just reggae music, rubber dub style, raga. And then as we go on with the years, coming up to the 2000s, we had your Willem Tides singing Anandi Noda Wangu, Dino Mudondo, singing tunes like Chirangano. We also had other artists coming up, Sniper Storm, King Labash, people like Mad Fisher. We also had Decibel, who initially started as a sort of a reggae dancehall artist, but he then, kind of was more influenced towards or gravitated more towards urban groovy type of music. We also had other artists coming up like Culture Kid and then Anna Winky D. We also had some females as well in the industry around this time, but there were not that many. We had people like Expatriate, Memory Tarengwa. Some people may not know her that much. We also had artists like Lady B coming up as well. Kunana 2000, Zikoko. And then currently, obviously, we have the Anajasic now, Killer T, Toki Vibes, Boom Beto, all these artists, Sekalas, Soldier Love, and my upcoming artists, so many of them coming up right now. But I also wanted to emphasize around the time that the Zim dancehall term was coined. This was coined by a guy called Slaggy Ute, who was based here in the UK. So this term, Zim dancehall, it actually originated here around Kunoku, UK Kunoku. Obviously, there were many other movements taking place in Zimbabwe and in different parts, but I can only speak for what I was a part of. So around 2005, 2006 is when I started DJing myself. So I had the opportunity to work extensively with these guys, and Slag Youth, Tayawati Wakomana Zimdancehall. So there was Slag Youth, there are about 11, about 12, 13 of them. You know, we had Slag Youth, Snacker Dread, Doobie Benz, people like Kudziku. We had Juicer as well. He was one of them. We had DJ Tina, who was based in India at the time. We have the late MC Mighty, who was based in Ireland. And we also had people like Alfire. I mean, there were so many artists, Vataiti, Wakomana Zimdancehall. So around this time, I traveled with these guys a lot, and it was also very difficult. It was for a lot of people to play this music, you know, my nightclubs and things like that. But I made sure Kuti, I played it, you know, and it was well received. And for that, they supported me a lot, and they provided me with a lot of like music that was upcoming. You know, the tracks that were difficult to get, they used to give me those. And when it came to 2009, I entered the Zimbabwe Cup Clash, UK. We had 21 sounds, and it was strictly reggae music, basically. Jamaica, and for the first time in history, I played Zimdancehall dub plates and Zimdancehall tunes for Zimbabwe Cup Clash, and they were, you know, they were very, very successful. People loved them, you know. Saka vanwe Zimdancehall, these guys. At that time, Song Yoi was not available for public download, but they gave it to me because of obviously the relationship that I had with them. So these guys, when they did their performances here in the UK, they called me to be their DJ, to play the instrumentals, etc., etc. So anyway, I won Zimbabwe Cup Clash in 2009. I've also got various other awards anyway through the years. But the important thing about this clash, in terms of where Zimdancehall is concerned, is that I think there was also recognition. Kuti, this music is actually, you know, really, really good, and people want to hear it. And so from in 2010, they introduced the Zimdancehall round in Zimbabwe Cup Clash for the first time ever. You know, following on from that performance that I had, you know, done in 2009. So anyway, yes, sorry. Sorry to interrupt. Mm-hmm. Hello. Yes. So sorry to interrupt you. Let's G2. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I feel that the genre has grown tremendously, and it's grown quite big. However, obviously, there's still my issues surrounding the artists. Kuti, are they really getting value for what they are putting in? So I think we need to come together, which is why it's important to have this summit like this one, so that we can discuss, Kuti, you know, what are we doing? You know, what's the way forward? So things, for example, like what I've noticed over the years is that some of the lyrics, the lyrical content as well in this music is important, because you know, it's fair and fine kuti teachers, oh, you know, don't please say, and just being yourself up as an artist, you know, it happens, it's important, but the lyrical content as well, there has to be meaning in these songs so that they become timeless. You know, it has to be educational. There has to be some sort of meaning the songs. That's what I can say in that respect, because things like my songs, I gotta sing Ana Amai, those songs mean something, and so they tend to stay on long. You know, they tend to be timeless, so you can hear them for years and years. And also another thing as well is for us not to kind of because I've noticed even when I came to Zimbabwe, there's a lot of divisions in terms of kuti anobva kugeto rakati neanobva kugeto rakati anobva kugeto rakati. So sometimes some areas end up not playing tongoti. In one area they don't play a certain colors tune because awirirane ne artist mwari anogara imomo, etc. So I think we need to move forward from just localizing this music kuti from ghetto to ghetto, but kind of making it national, and the artists coming together to pasaitama divisions so that the music can go forward, and also market our music even through tourism, Zimdancehall, so that we take it to the world. So there's also other questions as well, like which have been raised by other people, which are subject for discussion, I'm sure, later on today. Kuti, when you call it Zimdancehall, does that also eliminate the reggae element? Because the dancehall and reggae are two different things. So, what can we do in order for us to make it, both reggae and dancehall? And some people actually argued or put a point across, kuti, should we call it Zimdancehall or just stick to dancehall? So these are just like in any research assignment, for example, you have questions for further research. So these are the questions as well that I'm also kind of putting out there for discussion within the whole summit, in future sort of topics. So I think because of time, like you said, that's all I can say for now. But we're definitely supporting you, the genre. Yes. You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Yes. So guys, that's it. I've done it. I've done my bit anyway. So there was some network issues, and then we were pressed for time, etc. So I couldn't really go through everything. So guys, thank you so much for your comments. I'm just going to read them now. I couldn't kind of read everything to begin with. And I was also looking to kind of speak about your comments, telling them what you're also saying, but they were saying kuti time is run out. But anyway, we're talking now. Right, okay, Iceberg Gold, how are you? Uncle Jed, Lennon, Christina, Jacqueline, Anzi, I support Thomas Mapfumo's view on Zimdancehall. He said these Zimdancehall artists should try to emulate patois, the patois language from Jamaica, so that they will be well received internationally. As long as they sing in Shona, they can only be listened to by the Zim audience only. So yes, so I'm gonna kind of put these questions through to them as they discuss further. And the Winky D can never grace the reggae summit in Jamaica because I know in Banishon. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them this information that we're putting across. Kuti, you're suggesting kuti vaya sa imbanishon na vaimbe ne patwa, so that this genre is recognized internationally. So I'm sure they are streaming this live on the Zimdancehall Summit page. So we could go there to what's happening. So basically, there's also Panapapane Foundation, right? So this was the first segment. So now they're going to go to the next segment, which is creating an industry from Zimdancehall to and then in the third panel, they'll be talking about the social impact and the future. So this is where I think some of these questions that you've raised here and some of the suggestions that you've been making could fit in. So I'm just going to send them your comments. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It's like a page they were also streaming Zimdancehall Summit. They were streaming, but it was just audio. I'm sure if you go there. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. Let's meet on Monday, Agani Center Mondays, and Wednesdays for the midweek party. Thank you so much. So now we're going on to the Zim Dancehall Summit page to hear the rest of the summit. Bye bye. Hi Rutendo, how are you? Bye guys. Epson, big up yourself. You say me there, big up yourself. Nyasha Zambe Makoni. Thank you so much, guys.